Hi, I am going to be reviewing the Fitness Reality R4000 Magnetic Tension Recumbent Bike. Before we go any further, please excuse my hair. It's hard to manage and apparently it got messed up before the shoot. And I didn't feel like going back and reshooting the whole scene just because of it, so just ignore my hair and enjoy the video. So it seems that pretty much most exercise bikes nowadays are recumbent rather than upright. I do remember a time when they were upright. So I picked up this bike for an amazing $125 from Walmart, which actually is a really good price. It seems that most exercise bikes start at, I don't know, around $400 or $500 for the decent ones, and the really good bikes typically go for at least $900, $1,000 for the really good ones. But I'm kind of on a budget, and I'm not a big time athlete or anything like that. So this is a really good bike if you are on a budget and maybe you're just starting out. If you're looking for a bike that you would find at a gym, this isn't it. Or if you're, a seasoned athlete. But for $125, this was a really good buy, I'd have to say. I think it actually originally retailed for like $250 or $300 or so, and then it was on sale for $125, so I really wanted an exercise bike, so I just had to get it. So far, it's had its pros and its cons, but generally speaking, it has more pros than cons so far, and I've owned it now for a couple of weeks, and I've used it quite a few times. Let me get into the features of this thing. So, it has this handy display here, so you can look at things like distance, the RPM, the revolutions per minute of the flywheel as it turns. What else does it have? Oh, it has calories. Tells you an estimation of how many calories it thinks that you're burning. Time, and it's got some other readings on there that I can't think of at the moment, but those are the main ones, I think, the most important ones. What else? Has tension setting starting from the least amount of tension all the way up to the most, so it's got 14 different settings on this little knob right here. Oh, and it's got this handy beer holder. Wait, scratch that. No, don't drink alcohol while you're exercising. Bad idea. No, this is for your water, Gatorade, or whatever drink you typically drink when you exercise. It's got foot straps with the pedals. I'm not an expert on exercise bikes, but this seems to just be a basic thing that has, the most important features that you would need. All right, let's get into the pros and the cons of this exercise bike now. The plastic fittings on this thing, yeah, they seem a little bit flimsy. Not a really big deal though. But that's, I think, more than made up for by the frame. The bike's frame is actually solid metal and is quite solid. So it doesn't really shake. It's nice and stable. I love that. Even when I'm just roaring, with the pedal, with the cycling, this thing does not shake. It's extremely stable, and it's really quiet too. The seat is actually very easy to adjust, and I believe it accommodates people with heights starting from like 5 feet, I think. You have to look at the manufacturer's website, but I think it starts at like 5 feet or so and then goes up to, I don't know, 6 something maybe. So it's nice, got a nice wide range of accommodations for height. The seat is, like I said, it's easy to adjust. It's very comfortable, actually, for, such an inexpensive bike. It's nice and padded and leather, easy to wipe off and clean, And from the lowest tension setting up to the highest tension setting, you can definitely tell the difference. When I first got the bike, put it together and everything, and was experimenting, between the different tension settings, I noticed that I really couldn't tell much of a difference between the lowest and the highest setting. It's really strange. It's like, okay, did we not hook something up right? Or what, what's going on? Why isn't it, you should be able to sense a major difference in tension between the lowest and the highest setting. Well, after using it for a few days, I was adjusting the tension again, just kind of playing with it while I'm riding the bike, and all of a sudden, the higher tension settings kicked in. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know if it's a manufacturing flaw or if it's, you know, I don't know. Maybe something slid into place as I'm using it. But now it's perfect. Now I can tell a big difference between the low and the high setting. So there's no question now that it's giving me the proper tension on the highest settings. Just at first it wasn't doing that, and I don't know why. The other con is this, on the right pedal, the foot strap keeps coming off. No matter how many times I put it on there, it just keeps coming back off. It's weird, I don't know. I mentioned the slightly flimsy plastic, but it really doesn't affect it in a functional way or really at all. So that's not much of a con. I'd say the biggest annoyance with this thing so far, and this isn't, again, not too much of a big deal, I can fix this myself, is the rear feet on this thing. Have these little plastic things on the end, on the back, and they pop off anytime I move the bike. Anytime I slide it, this thing just pops off. Both of them do, so I'm gonna have to glue them on. Outside of those things, this is a really good bike for the price that I paid for it. Flywheel feels nice and solid, and I don't know, I don't think you can really go wrong with a bike like this. As far as the reliability of this bike, I don't know yet. I've only had it 2 weeks. But I will put an update down in the description there if there's any more updates to this review. So that's it.